years. We're so glad you're with us. My name is Tim Vogel. My pronouns are he and his, and I'm serving as this morning's worship associate. We are growing a community that transforms lives through the power of love. Our mission calls us to celebrate diversity, encourage spiritual growth, and promote social responsibility while we travel on and care for the earth. A special welcome to those at home who are joining us on Zoom today. If you're attending for the first time, please remember to fill out the welcome card on our website so we can get to know you. We have a couple of announcements this morning. The stewardship campaign continues. We currently have 39 pledges for 43% of our goal. If you haven't pledged yet, fill in the online form or fill in a paper to a paper form from the back of the church. Please note, hello, you guys are early. It's Silly Quilly, and it looks like he's picked up a big banana on Ferry Beach. Well, your stage is yours.
Hi, folks. I'm a talking big banana, and my name is Anna. Anna Banana. Silly here, she can't talk. She's just a squawker. But I understand her. You can squawk all you want. Yeah, there you go. She says she's lonely down there at Ferry Beach, and she hopes you'll all come down and visit her. When, Squilly, when? Oh, she says you're all invited for the first weekend in May. She knows you will have a great time at the beach, and who wants to miss out on a great time? She wants to remind you all that you don't have to sign up for the whole weekend. You can just go on Saturday or even just Saturday afternoon if that works better for you. Hold on there, Squilly. I know the sandy beach is your favorite place, but this year, as a banana, I have something special to offer. I'm planning something really fun and cool and wacky called a banathlon. It's kind of like a triathlon, but with, you guessed it, bananas. Nobody will want to miss out on this goofiness. Oh, of course. There will be other things too. Crafts, eating s'mores around the campfire, and of course, frolicking on the beach with your friends. So sign up today and eat your bananas. The little ones, of course. They're really good for you. See you at the beach. Bye.
Well, so much for entertainment. Please note, after the Wednesday vigil this week at Congress Square Park at 2:45, the weekly Wednesday multi-faith prayer vigils will go on pause for a month while the organizers discern what is most needed in this time. To get on the email list for a decision on the next steps in early April, please email Reverend Tara. Start planning now for the No Kings March on March 28th. A2U2 will help you find a ride. More information in the e-blast next week, or see Cynthia Martin. It'll be noon to 1 p.m. at Monument Square on March 28th. Joining us for worship this morning is the Reverend Lara Campbell. Reverend Lara is the emergency department chaplain at Maine Medical Center here in Portland. For the decade prior, she was the called minister at First Parish Unitarian Universalist Church of Kennebunk. Laura serves our larger association as a responder for the UU Trauma Response Ministry, and by leading secondary and elementary level OWL, Our Whole Lives training. Prior to becoming a minister, she served as a director of religious education and a youth advisor. Laura lives in Kennebunk with her spouse Jay and the rescue dog Maddie J. Beagle. Please join me in giving Reverend Lara a warm A2U2 welcome. We now invite you to all take this opportunity to silence your cell phones so that we may be fully present to one another. After the service, please grab a cup of coffee or tea and stay for conversation, or head down to the end of the long hallway to join a group for a brown bag lunch. Those on Zoom may stay and connect with each other. And now let us center our hearts and minds with the sound of the singing bowl.
So thank you, everyone, for that warm welcome. One of the many reasons I was so excited to meet your minister, Reverend Tara, is because it rhymes with Lara. And I was super excited to have a way to be able to say their name and my name appropriately. So before I begin, I just want to make an acknowledgement that for some people, the topic of my work, medical issues and hospitals, even when done in a non-gory, non-sensationalized way, can bring up some past painful experiences. And if this is the case for you, I encourage you to be gentle with yourself. Please do whatever you need to take good care of yourself. Rebecca Emmonston Lang invites us to come into this place which we make holy by our presence. Come in with your vulnerabilities and strengths, fears and anxieties, loves and hopes. For here you need not hide, nor pretend, nor be anything other than who you are called to be. Come into this place where we can touch and be touched, heal and be healed, forgive and be forgiven. Come into this place where the ordinary is sanctified, the human is celebrated, the compassionate is expected. Come into this place. Come together. We will make it a holy place. Do a little do-si-do here.
As we light our sanctuary chalice this morning, those joining on Zoom are invited to light a chalice or candle near you to connect us more deeply with one another. We light this chalice for the sacred that walk unshod through alleyways, that leans against brick walls with smoke on its breath, that hums in neon flicker and bus exhaust. This flame burns for the holiness found in dirty hands, in cracked voices, in those moments of sudden stillness between sirens and footsteps. Not every sanctuary has walls. Some are made of shadow and asphalt. Some are stitched together for longing, kindness, and sheer survival. We light this flame to remember divinity does not always wear white. Sometimes it wears denim. Sometimes it looks like a stranger holding the door just a moment longer. It burns to show us what is real.
Our opening hymn this morning is number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are, in your gray hymnal and on the screen. After Dale plays the tune through once, please rise in body and or spirit and join me in singing it through twice. Had to get used to your script here. So unfortunately, we do not have the visuals for a little tech issue, so we don't have the visuals for the story. So I'm going to ask for some help for folks to impromptu act it out. And we'll see what happens, right? So I need someone to play Taylor, is my first character. Who is willing to be Taylor? Awesome. Come on, just stand. We're going to do it right here. You just have to kind of pretend along. Oh, trust me, there'll be a part for you, honey. All right, so this is Taylor. And one day, Taylor decided to build something new. So just pretend to build something, block it up, make it big. Something special. Something amazing. And Taylor was so proud. But then, out of nowhere, and this is where you all get to help, there was a big gust of wind. And everything came crashing down. Oh. The first to notice was the chicken. Come on, be the chicken. Come on, I figured go from seagull to chicken. It's a pretty easy transition. Cluck, cluck, what a shame, said the chicken. I'm so sorry this happened. Let's talk about it. What does the chicken go? Cluck, cluck. Cluck, cluck, awesome. But Taylor didn't feel like talking, so the chicken left. Bye-bye. See you later, chicken. Next came a bear. Who wants to be the bear? Who's going to be my bear? Awesome. Oh, this is a big grrr. It was not a scary bear. Not a scary bear, a friendly bear. Yeah, friendly bear was still big and growly. How horrible. I bet you feel angry. Let's shout about it. Roar, roar, everyone, help out. Roar, roar. But Taylor didn't feel like shouting, so the bear left. The elephant knew exactly what to do. Who's going to be my elephant? Don't be shy. Come on up, elephant. You're not a relefant. All right. The elephant knew just what to do. I can fix it. We just need to remember exactly how things were. But Taylor didn't feel like remembering, so the elephant left. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 people, quickly. 4 people in a line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. All right. You all have easy parts. All right. One by one they came. The hyena went hee 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 and laughed about it. And then sat down. See, it's an easy one. The ostrich said, "Gulp. Let's hide our head and pretend nothing happened." Beautiful. And sat down. The kangaroo said, "Tisk, tisk, what a mess. Let's just throw it all away." Exactly, just get rid of it. And walked away. Hopped away, you're right, thank you. The snake said, "Shh, let's get down, go knock someone else's down." Shh. But Taylor didn't feel like doing anything with anybody. So eventually, the snake sat down too. Until Taylor was alone. In the quiet, Taylor didn't even notice that the rabbit had arrived. But it moved closer and closer until Taylor could feel its warm body. Nice. Together they sat in silence until Taylor said, "Please stay with me." The rabbit listened. The rabbit listened and Taylor talked. Blah, 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 blah. The rabbit listened and Taylor shouted. The rabbit listened as Taylor remembered and laughed. The rabbit listened to Taylor's plans to hide. Nice. And to throw everything away. Or to ruin someone else's. Through it all, the rabbit never left. And when the time was right, The rabbit listened to Taylor's plan to build again. I can't wait, said Taylor. It's going to be amazing. Thank you, everyone. That is The Rabbit Listened. The Rabbit Listened by Corey Dorfield. So I have some questions for you all, and I know Reverend Tara does this with you, so I know you're going to participate. What made the difference for Taylor? Someone listened. What else about it made a difference? They didn't leave. They stuck around. What else? They didn't tell Taylor what to do? Same thing? Brilliance in the front and the back, thinking the same thing. What else made a difference for Taylor? The warmth, right? They snuggled right up to him. I have a beagle, and they snuggle right up to you, right? So I can imagine that feeling of the warmth coming off the rabbit. There was another one I heard. They didn't judge. Yeah, even when Taylor wanted to take revenge, or not even revenge, but wanted to hurt somebody else's, they were like, okay, that's what you're feeling right now. So I want you to think about for yourselves a time when someone listened to you. Got that in your mind? What made their listening so helpful? What made it so effective? Made it all the best thing in the world when somebody listened. Is there anything special about that quality when you think about it? Jane?
Space to find my own way.
Oh, they give you space to find your own way. Nice. Other things? Non-judgmental, absolutely. Didn't offer any solutions. Yeah. Why do you think listening can be so powerful for people? Why is it so powerful? It seems rare in today's world, absolutely, yeah.
It gives people a sense of accompaniment while someone's holding space for them to process their own feelings.
Nice. Accompaniment, well, someone is holding space. I often talk about a container and holding space for people in my work. Other things that made it so powerful, or makes it so powerful. It lets you be who you are. Yeah, all of who you are, right? Like we said in our bringing all of who we are. Even some of that stuff inside of us that we might be a little ashamed of, right? We might be a little uncomfortable with. You can feel that they care about you. Yeah, yeah.
When somebody's listening to you, you get a chance to listen to yourself.
Ah, yeah. So when somebody, and I want to make sure I get this right. When somebody listens to you, you get a chance to listen to yourself. Those of us who are external processors totally understand that, right? I don't know what I'm thinking until it comes out of my own mouth. Yeah, great. Anything else? Any other final thoughts about what makes listening so powerful?
You're really in a space with that other person.
You are in that space. You are in that moment with that person. And sometimes it's like the rest of the world disappears, right? When you're like really focused in on listening. Not in the creepy, like, I'm going to stare you down, but in the just, I'm with you. I'm leaning in. I hear what you're saying, and it's touching my heart. Beautiful. All right, well, thank you. Thank you all for acting out our story and for helping us process it. Can you tell I used to be a religious educator, that I always like to process everything. So I think we have something I just learned about, the lamp lighting and recessional is going to happen with Emily leading that. Awesome.
Okay. In a few moments, some of us will leave the sanctuary to enjoy religious education programming. I do want to say that we'll be mostly outside, so kids can stay in here if they'd be more comfortable, or I know Kaylee and Lex are waiting to play with some folks if they would be more comfortable in there. But I would like to invite our lamplighter, Dexter, to join me in the pulpit. A lamplighter is entrusted to transfer the light of the sanctuary chalice to the lamp and then go forth to the RE spaces where they will light the chalices there. Dexter will now light the lamp. I invite those going to RE to follow the lamplighter as we carry the flame, expanding our sacred space.
I offer you the words of Lynn Cock. Spirit of life, who draws us together in a web of holy relationships, make your presence known with us and in and among us. Remind us that we are not alone in history. Ignite us with the courage of the living tradition. Remind us that we are not alone in entering the future. Anchor us with patience and perseverance. Remind us that we are not alone in our times of grief and pain. Comfort us with your spirit, manifest in human hands and voices. Remind us that we are not alone in joy and wonder. Inspire us to honor and extend the beauty we find in this world. Divine music of the universe, let our hearts beat in diverse and harmonious rhythms, cooperating with an everlasting dance of love. May we move with the rhythms of peace. May we move with the rhythms of compassion. May we move with the rhythms of joy, justice. Source of stars and planets and water and land, open our hearts to all of our neighbors. Open our souls to renew our faith. Open our hands to join together in the work ahead. So be it. Blessed be, and amen.
Now is the time in our service where we engage in the spiritual practice of generosity. Our gifts support the ministries of this congregation and our work in the broader community. Each week, 1/3 of our offering is given away to local nonprofit organization doing work to advance our shared values in the world. This month's Share the Plate recipient, chosen by our youth group, is Out Maine, who works to create more welcoming and affirming communities for Maine's diverse queer kids and teens in all their intersectional identities. Donations can be made now as the basket is passed through the donate button on our website, or if you're a member on Breeze, remembering to make a note that your gift is for Share the Plate. If you are visiting us for the first time this morning, please remember that your presence is your gift to us. At this time, our offering will be collected and gratefully received.
Our reading this morning is by Mason Bolton. Good morning. I missed your good because a plane, because a truck, because a gun, because a cop, because a government, because of people suffering, because too many people suffering, because war, because famine, because some mornings are hard, so hard to rise, to wake, to be a self. There is a pause here. There is a deliberate cessation. I want a cessation in the noise in my head, to the aching in the collective hearts of our world. When I was young, it seemed possible. When I was young, how hope seemed to spring eternal. I want to write about butterflies, about the cracked edges of tree bark pressing like a holy mother into palms. I want to write about the joy of children's cries, about birth, about the arc of your smile, how I could lose myself in the corners of your sweet and grinning mouth. This you is you reading this. I want for you joy. want to lose myself in you, want your mornings good, your evenings good, and your late nights and sunrises and afternoons and moments pressed against the ticking glass of your life good. Breathe. For yourself, for each other. Let us breathe in when others cannot, when we can do nothing else. Let us stretch ourselves open to embrace our friends, to extend our bodies open to anyone willing to meet us, or even to meet those that we think may not. Let us hold each other in this moment, for this blink of human existence. Thank you so much, Dale and the choir. That was, yeah, I need a moment. Breathe for yourself, for each other. Let us breathe in when others cannot, when we can do nothing else, says Mason Bolton. Breathe. I say this a lot in my work. As a chaplain for the emergency department at Maine's only level 1 trauma center, sometimes breathing is all I can do. Before getting the job at Maine Med, I hadn't spent much time in a hospital. Sure, as a kid, there were the occasional emergency room visits for sprained ankles, or the time that I fell and got to get stitches in my head, or had to be there with my brothers. And as an adult, I somehow managed to only spend one night in the hospital after a surgery. I would have to say that I've been pretty fortunate. But after 22 years between being a director of religious education and a minister working in UU congregations, I was ready for a shift, for a change. I gave myself a gift. Actually, my husband and I, mostly him, gave me a gift of a year, of a time to discern what my next calling was. For 8 months, I explored options. I went on retreats, I prayed, I hemmed and I hawed, and I hawed and I hemmed, and I thought. I had thought about chaplaincy work, but I just wasn't ready to commit. Until one day in the spring of 2024, when my spouse looked out the window to see me sitting on the stone wall with our elderly neighbor. My neighbor and I were drinking some water, taking a break after planting raspberry bushes. Over dinner that evening, Jay made an offhand comment. You should really get a job where you get to just hang out and talk to people. That simple and wise statement was the confirmation that I needed. Within a month, maybe a little more, I was hired as a per diem chaplain at Maine Medical Center in Portland. A year later, I was offered a full-time chaplaincy position, creating a new, what we call service line, a new dedicated role, specifically embedded in the emergency department. Now, many of us have been taught to think of holy places that they need to look a certain way, whether it be a church sanctuary or a temple, a mosque or a shrine, a circle of standing stones, maybe a particular mountain, a body of water, or a quiet forest. And while those places certainly are holy, I want to encourage us to really challenge us to move beyond those preconceived notions of what constitutes a holy place. Because sometimes the sacred appears in places that we don't expect it, or in places that we never think to look. A crowded street corner, a cluttered kitchen table at midnight, and yes, an emergency room. Places like these remind us that holiness is not confined to architecture or ritual. Holiness resides not in an external place, but in words and actions. Walking a distressed person to their beloved person's bedside. Holding the hand of someone who just lost their sibling. Wrapping one of those warm blankets around the shoulders of a mother who's holding her sick infant. Holy places do not just exist, they are made. They are made by presence, by intention, by commitment, by listening more than speaking, by bearing witness to another's pain by being fully present in the moment. Or as A2U minister Mark Morrison Reed describes it, listening so deeply to the stories of others that we begin to know their pain, to open ourselves to that which we know will be painful, is an act of strength, an act of courage. Every day is an opportunity to find, to see, to experience the holy. Every day is different. I never know what to expect when I show up at the hospital. Breathe. For yourself, for each other. Let us breathe when others cannot, when we can do nothing else. Breathe. There are times when the holy is clear, when its presence is obvious. Like when I hear the overhead call for a code blue, which is a heart attack in the critical care unit. In one instance, I've rounded the corner towards the unit and I find a young woman, we'll call her Sally, standing in the doorway of the family room. In a panic, her voice said, "They called a code, it's my mom. I know it's my mom, right?" I say, "I don't know, let me check." And in the cramped end of the critical care unit, there is a gathered crowd, doctors and nurses, emergency department technicians, respiratory therapists, pharmacists, and others. I return to tell Sally that her mother is being worked on. I don't know the details. I sit with her. She tells me stories about her mom. The doctors come in. They have a heartbeat. We take Sally to her mom's bedside. And while we are there, her mom arrests again. We step out and Sally sobs. "It's just the two of them," Sally says. "She doesn't know how she will survive without her mother." She tells me she should have insisted that her mom come in sooner. She tells me she struggles with depression and anxiety. As we sit, we breathe, because there is little else that we can do. And after what seems like an eternity, the doctors come to tell Sally that they have a very, very faint heartbeat. Her mom has been down long enough now that they are certain that she will not recover again if her heart actually beats at full strength. We return to her mother's bedside. And while they are there, her mother's pulse fades. Sally and I sit next to her mother. She cries and tells me she is afraid that if she goes home that she will do something stupid. I get the social worker. We have Sally evaluated. And when she is ready, we leave her mother's side and we admit Sally. She spends 36 hours with us in a crisis evaluation. She cries, she grieves, she sleeps. Finally, she sleeps. And then she goes back home to put the pieces of her life back together. Breathe. There are times that my job is focused on advocacy and cultural literacy. Around 8 p.m., a nurse and a pharmacist come to me. They are upset, dare I say livid, that it was the fourth night of Hanukkah and only 2 of the candles on the menorah were lit in the main lobby. They tell me they mentioned it to a staff person, but they were kind of blown off. They ask me for help. So I trek myself upstairs to get to the bottom of what's going on. Rectifying the situation requires that I spend some time educating the lobby staff about the Shamash candle and the need to light the candle at sundown, not the next morning. breathe. And there are other times that my work is dedicated to the staff. There's been a lot of activity in the behavioral unit of the emergency department that day. And as I make my way to the nurses' station, I notice one of the security officers kind of hunched over the desk. Now, the security officers, they work in pairs, and they are there to help with behavioral health patients when they become agitated. And as the security officer stands up, we'll call him Bill, I see his face seems off. Bill's partner in crime that day, or in love that day, catches my eye and makes a nod towards him. I stop and casually ask how it's going. The floodgates open and Bill begins to cry. We go to my office where Bill shares about how hard it has been to restrain a teenager because the young man had hit a nurse, so they needed to restrain him. You see, he tells me this is the third time this week we've had to intervene with a teenager. And it reminds me of what I went through when my own child was a teenager. He talked about feeling powerless, that he isn't quite sure if this is the job for him. Breathe. And lastly, sometimes my work is filled with unexpected moments of absolute pure joy. When I don't have specific referrals or consults for patients, I make my way through the department to check in on patients and families and staff. I try to give some extra attention to the folks that are in the hallway beds. About 35 of our 101 beds are in the hallways. And it can be hard for patients to be there. There's little to no privacy, even though we have these lovely scenes of oceans that separate the rooms, the beds, and I tell them all the time they have the best view in the hospital, but I'm not sure they believe me. The temperature is hard to regulate. In one of the hallways, I find someone we'll call Jane, an older woman lying on a gurney, her husband sitting at the end of the bed, playing a game on his phone. I check in and see, how's it going? Is there anything I can do for you? Can I get you a blanket? My big, important ministry, blankets. And I say that semi-sarcastically, but very authentically. The blanket ministry is real, man. We strike up a conversation, Jane and her husband and I, and she tells me that she's Jewish. I ask if she wants to see our community rabbi, and she says, sure, but since we don't know when he'll be in, would I pray with her? Of course, I said, but I need to warn you that my prayer style is not like the one you're going to be accustomed to. Jane asks me about my faith, and I tell her I'm a Unitarian Universalist. She says, perfect. My grandsons were raised UU. I say, wonderful. Where? Thinking she's going to say, like California, right? White Plains, New York. No way. I was the religious educator at the White Plains congregation. For years, I exclaimed. When were they there, and what are their names? And Jane looks at me and tells me the boys' names, and I get this instant flash of both of these kids. I know them. I was their DRE. We spend the next 20 minutes as she updates me about the boys. They're both out of college. They're living their lives. They're doing what they dreamed of doing. Her husband takes a photo. We are very careful to make sure that there is no one else in the background because HIPAA is a real thing, folks. And we send it to the boy's mother, and she responds in gales of delight, and delight in the connection that Jane and her husband and I have made. Now, I realize that these examples could be construed as big, as distinct and clear examples of the holy, So let me go on record as saying that this is not always the case. There are days when my work could almost be considered mundane. When the stars aligned, the patients are not in crisis, the staff is feeling fully staffed and supported, and the weather is not an issue. In those times, I work extra hard to notice the holy, to hold up for myself and others the sacredness of the work that we are doing. The holy is in us and around us at all times. And I want you, for a brief moment, and maybe during coffee hour, talk with each other about where are those holy places for you? Where are those unexpected times and experiences that just felt magical? So please breathe for yourself, for each other. Let us breathe in when others cannot. When we can do nothing else, breathe. Because sometimes the holiest ground we will ever stand on is simply the place where we finally stop and notice the sacred in ordinary life, when we acknowledge the holy in unlikely places. Blessed be and amen. Our closing hymn this morning is When Your Heart is in a Holy Place in the Teal hymnal, 1008, in the Teal hymnal. And I invite you to think about the times when your heart is not in a holy place, as they describe here, because those happen too. And we still get the grace. I'm just telling you. So please join me in rising on your feet and sing, make a joyful noise together. Anyone else notice the sun came out when we started to sing? After the benediction and extinguishing of our chalice, we invite you to remain seated for a time of reflection and integration as Dale offers the postlude. Our closing words are from Craig Rowland, who also wrote our chalice lighting. As we extinguish this flame, may we carry its smoke with us into the streets, into the places where holiness is hard to see but is always waiting to be noticed. Let us go with open eyes for wonder in the worn out, with reverence for each passerby, and with the knowledge that the sacred does not hide from the world, it lives in it. Go now not to escape the brokenness, but to journey beside it, and sometimes to bless it.